Hello and welcome. I'm Sue Ann with Right Mix for Business, and I'm here today with my co host, Jamie from Clearly Conveyed Communications. And we're so happy you're here.
Welcome to the Marketing Mirror. As we take you on an adventure into social media with Sue Ann of Right Mix for Business and co-host Jamie Shine of Clearly Conveyed Communications. Sue Ann and Jamie invite you to share in all the latest as we find out if social media is broken, what to do about it, and how it changes your marketing today.
Sue Ann and Jamie will explore the latest in social media marketing and cover the topics you need to know.
Hey, James. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome, everybody. This is a beautiful Friday. We're getting towards summertime. Hopefully, everyone is. It's been a little wacky here. Haven't seen the boat yet, just saying.
Yeah, the weather's been all over the place, but the sun is out today.
That's the good news. Well, we are so happy you're here. We have such a great topic. We talked about it a little bit last week, and we're going to give you a really quick introduction straight into the topic because it's so important and we have so much to cover. Not really cover, but play with today on today's episode because we're going to really try to do what we have to do to show you how you can build these things to make this organic content that kicks the butt of ads even organically. And also it helps to boost the strength of your ads when you get there because you have such a great organic social built. It will also help you with targeting because you'll have built that social interest from what you do with everything. So I'm going to give you a quick intro now. Ready? Here we go. And because instead of being tongue-tied like me, you get Millie, and she's good.
On today's episode of The Marketing Mirror, we're going to pick a friendly fight with your social media strategy. Because, let's be honest, getting attention is easy. You can shout, you can shock, you can add 10 flaming emojis and a clickbait hook, and sure, the views might spike for a second. But attention that disappears is just noise. What actually moves the needle for your brand is interest. From the kind of content that makes people lean in, remember you, and come back on purpose. In part 1, we talked about how organic content builds trust and brand love long before the sale. Now, in part 2, we're going to build it out, live. But first, a quick review. Facing changes and challenges of digital search, we discovered that attention is no longer enough. But by taking an interest-driving content approach, a genuine pull is built in, calling viewers back again and again. Moving from post and pray social content to planned arcs and themes with a strategic through line changes the way we think about and build for organic social marketing. Series content formats emphasizing stories, experiences, and strong points of view take viewers willingly on an ongoing journey. We also explored examples of character-driven content, whether in a series format or otherwise. Characters, from mascots to pets to a charismatic CEO or host, escalate emotional connections with people. They allow for nuances through humor, narratives, and the twists and turns of storytelling. The character examples we shared last week showcased a variety of styles and use cases, and hopefully got your creative juices flowing. Are you whipping up ideas for sizzling series and magnetic character archetypes for your social media organic content efforts yet? It's time for your new organic. Stay tuned to go even further down the social media organic marketing hole today, because we have exciting new examples for you, a live organic social media content build, and another content type to introduce for you to try. Remember, sticky, magnetic, and interesting content connects. Thanks. Enjoy.
Welcome, Neil. Welcome, Lisa. We're here. I'm so happy. Millie is rocking it. Thank you. I think she's so much clearer than me. I know I give her the I know I stuff those words in her face, but I think she does a better job than me, guys.
She's smooth.
Isn't she? I love it. So today, this is such a great topic that we've been talking about. And so today we have some really great examples for you on how to make that interest driving content. And so people want to tune in. And it's not an easy ask. I'm just going to say, it's hard building an audience. It's hard building community. It's a good thing to have people that support you. There's so many people who are great supporters of the show. We so appreciate it. But it's also something that maybe we can do better with if we study it a little bit. So that's why Jamie and I are kind of taking it apart. And I'm going to go ahead and put up I hope I'm going to go ahead and put up the share so that you can see what we're talking about and we can break down some things for you as we go here. Um, do you like that layout or
Can you enlarge it
yeah, then
and
people can
make it
see things better,
the
right?
one?
Oh,
Make the
wait, I got
one.
to enlarge the whole thing. Hold on. I know what I got to do. There we
There you
go.
go. All
Bam.
good. All
Bam.
good.
I am going to get better at this, you guys. I really am going to get better at this live streaming. I'm so out of practice and I mean, this is what our 6th or 7th one now on a Friday. I'm going
Yeah,
to say yay for us because that's pretty cool that we did that many, I think.
it is.
I'm
Our,
going to cheer for us for just a second, everybody. Sorry about that.
our studio
so,
audience.
so how's everything with you, Jim? Good? We ready? We're good. You know what's what.
Yes, ready to go.
I think Millie did a good job talking about the dilemma of creating content that is genuine versus not genuine. And there were so many good things that we did go over last week that I thought were really great in getting into this topic. And today we're going to start with Neil Patel piece of information because he is running the world in digital marketing. So we're gonna look to him for some information. But he's taking it back. My favorite example last. These are three. Like all of our examples last week are so good. If you missed it, Nike and Spotify's Make Moves series. It's so inspiring and such a great idea. And we talked about how you might be able to switch that for your company. Ham radio gizmos, the characters, the intelligent educational humor uh, with story content, the history. It's just beautiful. We talked about how Stephanie Garcia, in her entrepreneur article, took it well beyond digital because she crossover. It was a cross thing with digital and live and a live event, and it really just skyrocketed a digital effort and made it something that really made it interest driving content and created a huge amount of not only interest in shares and digital social going on, organic digital social going on, but also leading to sales and leads and pipeline and new connections, relationships, all the good things that we're after. um, and we talked about how you could have real or created character centered people as part of your series or in their own way. They can run a series. We talked about Heneka's Henrietta, who we love, who is a blog character. Stella, Lisa's pet, who is starting to star on her social channels. And she took that and ran with it, by the way, which I thought was really great because
Yeah.
you know, that's action taking we're seeing with what
Yes.
you've got going on, and you've got to love that. So that was another great one. Sorry, guys, I'm a little awkward sometimes talking and walking. And we talked about how all of these series and all of the way that that you create these characters in these series, and how these characters can be live, like a Gary V or like a Maureen Callahan, as we pointed out last week. But the important things are that stickiness, that creating buy-in, that stirring anticipation, that transforming your content into something that people are really into. And there's probably some amount of entertainment in most of the cases that we looked at also. Because you can educate and entertain, we're learning in so many ways. And I love that about it. You're quite welcome, Lisa. We already knew you had a star. A star is born, but we just wanted to raise her star a little bit, Stella Star. So that was fun and cool. So let's move on to our. Oh wait, news alert, news alert. I have a new example for you of a series, because one of the things that Jamie said, you kind of have to have your product and service in there somewhere. And I said, well,
Yes.
yes and no, because sometimes there's not even a mention of your product or service in your series content that people can't wait to see. And my new example, perfect example, is a company called Huckberry. I found this a hat tip again through Sam Parr, who I already shared something else that he shared on Twitter before with you guys. But Sam talks about how he said, I'm going to give you how he says it. He says, I think that most YouTube content is overly optimized and lacks soul. Oh my gosh, we don't want to lack soul. And he says, Huckberry is not one of them. They have a show called Dirt, which I love. He has love in capitals. And his description of the show is it's sort of an Anthony Bourdain-esque travel and food and information. Um, it's more than that, but business wise, he says it makes a ton of sense too. And I'll tell you why in a minute. I'm not going to tell you what they do quite yet. But he says they have 500,000 subscribers, which isn't huge, but he said their engagement is deep. And he has a quote from someone who watches their channel. It's a comment on their channel, but I'm going to read it because it's so good. It says something about this series style content for a brand that does not mention the brand throughout. So this is a comment in their feed. It says, I speak on behalf of all your subscribers when I say, please never stop making this series. And that's their top comment. It says, in a world of slop and speed, they're refreshing. And Sam says, and he says, I'm guilty of this stuff too as a creator, so I find them inspiring. He says, it makes me love the brand. And it really, look, so what happened is I had to click and see what is he talking about, right? What the heck is he talking about with this brand? And here's what I think about this brand, you guys. Here's what I think about this series. I love the music. I built a little, can you see my little mountain I built from their dirt? I love the music, the stories, the artwork, even the transitions, you guys. I love the human interactions, the funny, unexpected parts, the discovery and learning shares, the moving but changing pace of the video action. I love the adventures shown via camera angles and perspectives, not told but shown. And I love the human introductions, the real stories, and the intimate discoveries. Now, let's find out a little bit more about Huckberry. They are, this is their words, a one-stop shop equipping men for adventures near and far. We curate and engineer premium gear for the exact ways we live. Rugged, refined, and ready. So their claim to fame with their gear and their apparel and shoes is that they go with you on the adventure. And so that's the tie-in for their series. They're taking you on an adventure. But what's interesting is they have Dirt as one series. They have another series about, I think it's about homes, and they have another series, I think it's about like style and maybe fashion. But there's Dirt, the one that, so this, you can see this is a 50, they took a picture of the thumbnail. It's a 50-minute video, you guys. I was going to just peek it out to use for the show as an example. I was glued. I couldn't stop watching the entire thing. I'm just saying, this is something to aspire to. I will put the link in the comments in one sec here because I'm not that coordinated, but give me one sec. And this is their channel to tell you a little bit more about Huckberry and how they are the one-stop shop for men's shopping. But they I think on April 10th they just turned 15 years, and the comment was very I think I saw this on a tweet from the company, and it says simply 15 years in and we're just getting started. What began in a cramped San Francisco apartment has grown into something bigger than we ever imagined. We're we've always been about more than gear. And again, here's the tie-in. He said it's about the stories, the people, and the journey. And the guy in the dirt thumbnail is, I think, Josh, the company owner. And one of the quotes from that video that also kind of grabbed me was somebody he was actually interviewing and enjoying Hawaii with, and the gentleman said, where is it? Sorry, you guys. I know I have it. I have it, and I don't know where I put it. But it was about people, place, and space, something like that. And I just thought it was so inspiring. If you guys get a chance to watch this, which you should, and I will put the link in a minute here because Lisa or Jamie will take over in a minute here, and then I can do that. But you're gonna have to watch this. So they do again have different ones, a style thing, like fashion kind of thing, and then they have a homes thing, and then the dirt series where they're actually moving around and visiting, traveling, seeing people. And it's super cool, super cool. It's gonna pull you in and grab your attention. And there's not a mention, not hide nor hair, do they mention in the entire 50-minute video the company name or a product. Although I believe they wear the product in the video,
Yeah.
which is a great way to do it.
Yeah, you don't have to be obvious about it. It doesn't have to be an infomercial, but that's actually perfect because they're going on adventures wearing their apparel and using their gear. It's
I thought
exactly what they do.
I love this. When you guys watch this video, you're going to be look. We have something. We're trying here with video, but we have something much bigger to aspire to. If you see the kind of work that they do, so getting back to today's information that we want to share, the content that Neil is talking about, we're going to take it back a little, right? We're not going to be starting with we're going to start at the foundation with Neil. Okay. We're not starting with, this organic content. Neil takes things back to the basics. He's discussing a small pasta brand. He illustrates how strategic organic social content starts with the fundamentals and helps create a clear path back to your product and service. So that's what it is. Like, people love this guy and love this adventure, and they want to buy from him just because everything, the way that he handles the whole production, the way that he explores and is so human, it makes you want to buy from the guy, right? It just makes you want to. But we need to start at a more basic level when we're building this out. He's starting with that product. And that's the case that we have to share with you with Neil. He's talking about a pasta company, and we're going to talk about social organic content, but he's taking it back to the fundamentals. In this case, he's looking at his pillar pages, and in particular, the product to sale page structure, because that's all this company, it's a small company. How are they going to stand out in a world of big brands? It has to be done through something more basic, and it has to start with their point of sale, their point of product where they want to send people, and they want to sell pasta, plain and simple. That's all they've got that they're doing. So we're all aware of the dangers, right, of cannibalizing content and site structure, because you have multiple uses of one keyword, because this site only talks about pasta. So even the core topics you might have too much content on that same keyword or keyword series. And in this case, you have one thing to do, and that is sell. Jamie, do you want to go ahead and set up the background about Neil and the whole thing? And I'll look for that
Yeah,
share
absolutely.
in the meantime.
We all know and probably love Neil. I don't want to say that for everyone. If you don't, look him up. He's fantastic. But one of the reasons people appreciate him so much is he takes complex technical ideas and breaks them down into understandable nuggets that you can walk away understanding how to do something. So he took a look at this pasta sauce company, and they were running into issues that affect a lot of businesses. Say you have, whether it's products that are similar or services, we all kind of fall under that boat. Their pages were actually competing against each other with Google and for search to be seen. So they had, this company specifically had multiple pages all targeting the same core keyword. So that's an issue because when Google, or even now with AI, is coming in looking for who to poll and who to cite, they're confused over which page is your primary page. So Tiger sells pasta sauce, and of course they have different types of pasta sauce, but they had several pages about their pasta sauces that were too similar, so they had to look for a way to differentiate them. Because again, Google and other AI tools can't figure out which page is the main authority. So they're overlapping, you're competing against yourself. You have pasta sauce all over the place, all the same keywords, and no clear differentiation in your topic or purpose for each page. So that's a problem for SEO because you got to be clear and let people and let the technology know which page is your main source and give each page a clear definition. So Neil says here is how you fix this. And again, this goes much further than a pasta sauce company, and we'll get into ideas of how you can make this relevant for your business. Don't blow it up and start over. You don't need a new website. You don't need to rebuild everything. You take these 5 similar pages they had about their signature pasta sauce because they're proud of it. It's good. It's the best pasta sauce in the world, at least to them, and I'm sure it is. Haven't had Taggart's, but I'll have to check it out. But you take these 5 pages and turn them into 5 different scenarios. So here's where you start. You keep the main keyword, and then you add the scenario keywords to each of your different pages. So each page still uses the core pasta sauce keyword, but then you add the scenario words, and I like his term for that clarify how each page is different. So you have one page that focuses on coastal Italy cooking methods. I absolutely am going to check out this company because I want to look at that and how they use the sauce differently there. So they have specific ideas, recipes that they're doing. So that's one scenario. Then you have another page that can focus on family Sunday dinners. You know, a lot of families like to get together, have dinner on Sunday before the week kicks off and everything gets crazy. Everyone goes their separate way. So you have a page focusing on that for families to go to. You turn another page into quick weeknight recipes. We're trying to throw dinner together quickly. This scenario hit with me. We need something quick but yet good that everybody wants to eat. So you turn each of these pages into a different scenario that will give it a clear purpose, that will let SEO and AI know what they're looking for and what they should cite that page for. And it can attract different audiences. So that's the fun part. You're expanding your audience and possibly bringing in different people, new customers, growing your audience. So then you use internal links from your recipe pages and put those into your 5 scenario pages so that your site is linked together. So inside their site specifically, they have multiple Italian recipes that each link to one of these pasta sauce pages. So maybe the coastal Italy cooking methods, they have a specific recipe they use. So you link a recipe that you have, a recipe page that you have elsewhere on your site to that specific scenario page. And then you find something, those quick and easy weeknight dinners, you have a product recipe page about that, you link to that scenario page. So it helps keep people, it helps keep their experience going. They come in looking for quick weeknight recipes, they can click over to your recipe page, they stay on site, they can learn more about your company and take another step in the buyer's journey to becoming a customer.
Absolutely. I think that's great. So you've really broken it down. So the next question then is how can we move this really great structure for organic content and extend it into pillar content that uses our organic social media marketing theories. Let's see if we can't expand that with a hybrid. I think we should have a character for them if we're going to do something like this. I think we need a character because I think a character is a human. In this case, I think a human character would be the ticket. I
I
just
could absolutely see having a chef or a cook whipping up different recipes, and I'm biased, but they could probably be Italian, given given what the company does.
Yeah, and then you can take all of those like the things that you talked about, each could be a series in its own, actually, or you could do some kind of other interactive thing. Our mission is to create, if we're going to use that chef, a character driven series. We're going to keep in mind the changes in search because of AI, because we're going to want to answer questions. Interest driving content really serves itself, haha, right into onto the plate of organic and interest driving content because search AI search wants to answer the questions. It wants the most in-depth coverage on a topic so that you can be, the answer to that question. So when you get really particular in your series, like your pastas from different regions, you're really helping to drive interest, but you're also speaking to the search gods. And so we wanted, now we're going to hybrid it because we want it to be a series and we want to bring in a character for a 2-for-1 roadmap with our idea here. So, how do we go about that? Well, we're thinking, yeah, definitely a chef in some way. It could be a something like Stephanie did with her live event where it's a tasting booth. It's an outdoor little cafe tasting spot and the chef is there. Maybe you could have a character that's the troublemaker that enters into the series and he's sure he doesn't like anything and he pops in to see the chef each day in the series just to razz him and say, I'm not going to like that, and then of course he tries it along with other people who stop by for taste tests of whatever today's and again, it could be a season of regional content. So we're comparing, you know, one region to another region to another region, and you need to stop by each day to see what people like better. And at the end of the week, we pick a winner from these 5 regions. There's so many ways you could go about this. Like I
Yeah.
said, you could have that contrarian character. I don't. There's no pasta better than my grandmother, no matter what you do. And then they come in and taste, and have something like that. There's just so many ways that you could do it. Also, another series could be based around, like you mentioned, Grandma's Sunday dinners,
Yes.
the family dinner on Sunday. And that could be a really interesting series because it could work around several different things. Like if it's friendly pasta night, maybe it includes more meals for different age groups, like things the kids like, or combining what the kids like and what the big kids like for Sunday. It could take the angle of like the full out Sunday meal and make each one an extravaganza. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in itself, it could take the angle. These are different angles it could take, right?
Hmm.
Um,
And you could expand that, typically Sunday dinner, go beyond pasta. Have sides, like what pairs well with these different types of pasta.
oh, another pasta pairings, wine and pasta. There's so many ways you could take
Yes.
this.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Hey, it's
Um,
Sunday. It's a leisurely dinner.
right.
Grab a
And
glass.
grandma needs her sip of the wine.
Exactly. That's a good idea.
So yeah, and if you did the street guy, those could be like live video actions. Now again, I think we mentioned last week you could set up a scenario with the chef where it's a live or a studio thing to get it rolling. You know what I mean? To kind of make
Yes.
the scenario happen.
But I do like the idea of visiting different regions.
Excuse me.
Italy is such a regional country. I mean, there's big differences. So I love that to see what's going on and what people are eating, different recipes, different types of ways that they're using pasta.
Or pair a dessert with it because different regions
Yes.
probably prepare those desserts different, just like they prepare those pastas different. And that could be interesting.
Yes, absolutely. So many opportunities. And I would really be interested. I think you could definitely go somewhere with the quick weeknight recipes. That's such a popular topic, whether you're talking about busy professionals, working parents, people trying to get good food on the table quickly. That you could actually do a live, under 30 minutes and
Yeah.
actually have someone on a live show preparing dinner.
Right, like these are so quick. I can show you them quickly, and then you can do it, like because it's that quick. If everything's within a half hour, then you can make it within a half hour. And if
Yes.
you're a busy working professional, or if you have a family that's into sports and they're all it's a quick. They got to be ready at a certain time because everybody has a ball game tonight after
Right.
dinner.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it gives you those kind of options. I just think this is something that could build out organically on social in so many ways. And we're leaning towards video in some of what we're talking about because video is so popular, but there are a million ways that you could do it. So you can again use campaigns and focus windows for like seasonal or holiday specific.
Oh, yes.
So, you could do a series leading up to each holiday, the 12 weeks till Halloween, the 12 weeks till Christmas, or the 4 weeks till,
Yes.
things like that. And also, these campaigns could extend beyond, maybe video is the main vehicle, but then, we love repurposing, and there's a million ways you can repurpose that information and take it to the recipe, take it back to the sales page.
You could post recipe cards for people to save and share. Link back to, have a blog with everything, all your ingredients, your recipes, how to make it. So many opportunities. So, oh,
I think it's so great.
yeah,
This is such a
absolutely.
fun case because there's so much you could do. And then inviting viewer collaboration and input, that could be people coming in to taste, that could be people taking pictures of their attempt at making the quick half hour recipe and saying, wow, it was this quick and look how good it looks. And, or
Yeah.
here's how it went for me. It's really easy to generate user generated content and
Yes.
get people involved. Um, you can pre-plan your series content though. It's something that needs to be thought out a little bit because you do want to align with your content pillars, your themes, and you want to have a progression to the show if you can. And
Absolutely.
again, using the topic hubs like Jamie described, even with the website, we want to do the same thing in our series, possibly, because we could
Yes.
have different bundles around different areas or different products or different seasons or different holidays or different topics or different sauce flavors. What do you guys think?
And then you could even pull their products into that with, you talked about having a lead up to hosting Christmas dinner. That's a big deal. It overwhelms people, and have a whole content focus on that, and then do a special, and here's a special package of our products, the Christmas dinner special, and tie that into the back end.
Oh my gosh, now you got me thinking because there's so many ways you could cross promote this in so many ways. It would be it in and turn it into gifts for all these seasons and all these holidays. We're expanding in front of your eyes, you guys. And I think it would work. I think it would all work really well. And again, I really like the fact that this is just a small business, but it could stand out in a big way.
Yes. And these ideas are all doable. You don't need $1 million budget. You could
Like
really
her.
work with the resources you have and attract a sizable audience who is interested in what you do. Because I'm with Lisa. I mean, who doesn't like pasta? There's a lot of opportunity out there.
Honestly, I think it might be really seriously. Everybody does. Everybody does love pasta.
Yep.
I am right now, you guys that are watching, thank you again. I'm putting that link right now in the chat to watch Dirt, by the way. I'm trying to put it in, it's not working. I can't get it to go in. I'll have to put it in the show notes. Oh, wait, it's finally working. Yay.
All
I'm
right.
telling you, I don't know
There
if
you
it's
go.
me or if it's Riverside, but I have been struggling since we've been using Riverside. I swear I felt like maybe I was better on StreamYard, but their prices went up so high, and I'm working with a client and I'm trying to learn Riverside for their sake, and I'm just struggling. But I hope you guys will bear with me because I think we have more to tell you. We have
Absolutely.
more to share if I could just share it properly. Oh,
All right.
do we want to move on? Yeah. Okay. So Zinni Studio. This is another type of content. But what's really cool about Zinni is that she actually uses her formula in this single video that she shows you how to use it. It's like double whammy. So smart. I'm trying to get back on track. I love Zinni Studios. I want to give her a shout out because Higgsfield, which we use as a tool to create this show, Higgsfield and design are really important to our character creation and lip syncing and cloning and all the cool stuff that we've been playing with. And Zinni Studio is where I learned about those things, especially Higgsfield and design.
And
So,
it's so powerful to show what you're talking about. Not just to talk about it, but to put it into action and show people what that looks like.
and that's exactly what Zinni does so well. Um, First of all, I was attracted, of course, because she has a show that has a character operating the show, and
Okay.
I like that. I've been trying to do that kind of in a way for years, and so I think that was one things that I like. But the video is I cloned a viral faceless channel with AI in 30 minutes. So you can tell from the title of her video that there's the structure escalating content formula. Um, she's saying, I cloned a viral faceless channel. So that's sort of the challenge, right? Like,
Yeah.
what? You cloned a viral faceless channel? And then with AI, that's the experimental thing. That draws me in. Huh? How do we do that? It's an AI experiment. And then in 30 minutes, that gives me, the end. Like, okay, now I want to see, can we do it in the 30-minute framework? So she's actually built the escalating content formula into not only the structure of her single show, but into the title itself. I'm just saying, what a great concept, what a great
Yeah.
example for you.
It's fantastic.
So what she's doing structurally is the higher structure does. I just kind of broke it down, but if we want to get, you know, educational about it, it's a hook
Yeah.
and stakes. So the bold premise, right, that they're going to clone it, like just like I said, hey, I'm as good as the notes here, and then it reveals the model they're cloning. So you're waiting for the reveal. You're waiting for what's the next step. You're waiting for, you know, the visuals, the pacing, and it's implied in the description because they're going to break down how to do this and how the other channel grew that we can copy. And then it shows the build process in steps, right? It's going to show you the workflow, how to design the scripts, the visuals, the voice. So it's giving you those stepping stones that are carrying you along, escalating. You have to stay and watch and learn how to do this. And then it runs the experiment. It's doing it. It's cloning it. It's showing you how you do the content or key parts of it. And it's not just talking about it. So it's a show, don't tell moment. And we love the show, don't tell. We're trying. We're
Yeah.
learning as we go here. And then we want to reflect on results and lessons, which is kind of looking at the product itself, right? And then that's an opportunity to invite your audience in also. What do you think? Let's reflect on the results and lessons together. Try it. Let us know how it worked. What worked in your, what do you think worked? What felt off? What change can we make to make this better? Because the real lever, of course, is changing it into the content model and the format that is going to work for you in the larger ability to create organic social content that's going to build a lot of goodwill for your brand, totally build a lot of goodwill. So, this does look like interest driving content for your show, and this could be done as a series or just in one episode like she's showing, or it could be built out into a series, you know, where you talk about it and you get it started, you have the build, you wait to see the reveal, you know what I mean? You could run this
Yes.
into a series, or it could even be a season, you know what I mean? It could be a whole season depending on how you want to do it. The big point is always to be making sure that you build in that escalation through curiosity, the build, the reveal, the results, the iteration, and, you know, inviting people in.
That's a great formula.
I have the format on, not showing you on the video, just showing the big slide, but for some reason it looks to me on my screen like you're still taking up half the space. I don't have it set up there on the back end that way. I'm sorry. I'm making show notes in the middle of the show. I'm sorry, you guys. That's not nice. And we have another voice heard from Nomad. Hi.
Yes, thanks
Welcome
for
to the
stopping
show.
by.
We really appreciate you stopping by. And definitely jump on that dirt if you're a nomad. You're going to like that video for our example of a series that builds a brand without really mentioning the product or the brand almost at all. And I think that was fabulous. Now, so we have been learning some big things, I'd say. And I just put these together for a review because I think if we step back now and think about some of what we've been talking about and learning, it should come together in a way that you can replicate with your product or service or channel or content. So Neil Patel is great with Break the Old Playbook. He talks about the TV studio model, which is really what we're talking about when we talk about trying to have series and content and characters and all that, right? I mean,
Hmm.
that's jumping into that model kind of wholeheartedly. Also, something we haven't really talked about, but I'm going to throw in because this is a Neil Patel staple, and this is a great lesson. And I know some people, I know Lisa out here, and probably Neil too, have done this where you've given something worth paying for free. And an example would be Uber Suggest, because Uber Suggest was organic social concept from Neil that blew up his leads, like blew up his mailing list when he started offering Uber Suggest. So now I think it's a paid model, but initially it was completely for free. But what he's saying
Yes.
is that if you want to build an audience, come up with something. And now with AI, everybody's got a tool. Give it away. Let people experience some of what you can offer, what your knowledge can offer with something. Like it's the conversation we've had before about gated or not gated content. And
Hmm.
I'm a big fan of not gated, but that's no way to build a list. So I'm going to have to change my thinking a little because I don't gate anything. But also, his path using organic to grow took him from a few thousand to a million. Seriously.
Yes. Well, and you can use one thing to catch people's attention, give away one tool or one resource that you created that leads to other customers or paid subscribers or email subscribers or whatever it is that you want from people. You can kind of use that to bring people down the path
It's
towards
not a
you.
touch point, it's a hammer. So he took a touch point, a delicate touch point, and turned it into a hammer. That's how much traffic and new mail list and everything that he got from it, which is so great. That's the thing. If you can come up with something that great that really draws, that's a big win. But it might be a couple smaller things, Maybe you
Hmm.
have this or that you offer that brings people in. And then once they have that interest and they trust you because wow, you created this and you gave them this, then they want to know what else, what else. And they're
Hmm.
kind of being primed to be hopefully a customer or buyer.
Yes,
And then I loved Make Moves. I loved it.
it's fantastic. It's such a good example of what we're talking about. I actually pulled up that playlist last night.
And isn't it emotionally charged and fun?
Yes, it's so the whole collaboration's fantastic. How they're inviting people in. I what I love about their approach. I mean, we talked about this last week that they're trying to get teenagers, especially teen girls, to move more and to not be so self conscious about their bodies, and you're going through a lot of changes during that period, and to just get out and have fun and build movement into your day. So instead of lecturing or telling people you're not getting your steps in or whatever, they approach it from a hey, this is fun, let's create a cool playlist. All of the partnerships that they worked with, they approached it from a different angle. Instead of telling people they were doing something wrong, like hey, we all need to get more movement in our day, let's try
They,
this approach and make it
they
fun.
didn't make it a lesson. They made it
Yes,
something that it wasn't. It was a less. I mean, it
they
was
made it a
for the good,
party.
but they made it not. Yeah, I love
Come
that
join
because
us.
that is the way that you build a brand without talking about the brand or the product. I mean, that is a perfect example of that because and they didn't make it and they were trying to help girls with self-esteem and with physicality, moving the body, getting in shape because we tend to be at our computers or at our our head down in our phone. Get out and play,
Yes.
get out and move around and dance. And I think the fact that it wasn't like a beat over your head lesson, but the lesson was there, but and it happened so organically because it happened with people being engaged in the fun of participating. They wanted
Yes.
to participate. They wanted to.
Absolutely. And that's something that a lot of brands can take away. I know they were targeting teenagers, and lecturing teenagers isn't really a popular thing. So that was a fantastic approach. But take that same approach even if you're dealing with adults. People are tired of being lectured. So that's a fantastic approach to actually get people to buy into what you're doing.
Right. It was sort of like the idea I had with how to bling your blog and feed that hog because I wanted to
Yes.
take you on the blog transformation highway. I wanted to make it a journey. I mean, there's a lot in there of things like the idea was to like do it as we go and build out your blog and I think it's a good concept when you're bringing people along by them participating in it, doing it, and making it a fun. The blog playing was fun. Everybody was following the hog along the journey. Um,
Yes.
so let's see. And we had the tigers that we just did, which
Yes.
is great for small and medium businesses to show that you can actually hit the nail that hard with, finding the right audience and preparing scenarios that'll bring in new audiences by being relatable because they're talking their language because they're interest driving. They're talking about regions, or they're talking about Sunday dinner, or they're talking about grandma's recipes. They're talking about things that are relatable and interesting to people that bring you back to their product.
But
Um,
very doable too. This is something that other, even small businesses can emulate for themselves. These are not things, these are things you can do on smaller budgets. You can get creative with your resources. You don't need a big production studio and massive budget. So don't limit your creativity or what you want to do because you're thinking, oh, we're not a multi-million dollar company. That's okay. There's a lot of things you can do. Don't defeat yourself before you ever get started.
and remember that that base that you build with that interest diving content that extends your visibility and reach is also building that targeting that you might need if you decide to do advertising. You're going to have a lot more to work with because you're going to know where the interest is and which way to head things. Also, I love that this just gave us a great organic content mix, and it's okay to take a hybrid approach. Your messaging is what has to remain clear and concise across everything as far as your own brand. But after that, mix away, mix media,
Yes.
mix tactics, try things, especially right now. Now, while
Mhm.
things are in chaos anyway, is the
Yes.
best time to experiment and take advantage of that, in my opinion.
Yeah, keep it interesting. It's
And
easier
then
to
I,
keep people's attention if you're
right.
mixing it up instead of doing the same thing over and over again.
And I definitely love Zinni Studios. If you haven't watched the Zinni, it's called the Zinni Studio, I think, on YouTube. But if you haven't checked out Zinni, I've learned so much from her. I again hat tip for sending me to two tools that I use for the show to create our characters, to create our lip syncs and marketing Millie. By the way, I did do a synopsis from last week's intro about LinkedIn that it's just a 5 minute, I think, video that I synced with our characters talking. But it has the information from Linaire that Linaire shared from us. And I put us in an aquarium because it's summer for that one. But
Yes.
it's a really quick video, you guys, and it's loaded with important tips about LinkedIn. If you're interested, check that out on the channel if you get a chance. Um, let's see, where are we now? Oh, I think we're doing great. I think we're getting towards the end.
Yes.
So I would say winning brands do think in shows and series, not isolated posts. There's social media isn't just about moving that feed. It's thinking of yourself as a media network. Neil's calling it a TV network, and that's why we say TV. But remember, even YouTube is being watched, as we showed in our YouTube production a few back. YouTube is being watched on TV. It's part of the changing media, and so, it's not so bad to change media network into TV network like Neil's doing. Like go that big. Plus, TV networks are kind of on the other low end of the stick right now for media, I'd say.
Yeah, and we really kind of took a deep dive into this in our 7 most shocking shifts in social media episode. So if you haven't caught that yet, go back and catch it because we really talked about how to update your social media strategy for audiences today, along with 6 other shifts there. But that was one of the shifts talking about the series
Oh my
and
gosh, that's the one we had to try 3 times. We did a
yes,
whole
we
show,
had
you
some
guys.
technical difficulties, but
We
the
were
end
alive for
result
11
was
minutes, but we talked for an hour not knowing.
the end result was fantastic. So go check it out. And
Yeah,
we definitely talk about
I
this
got it
topic
edited
in there,
video.
along
Yeah,
with some other really good topics.
super cool.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps it up. Did we miss anything in the chat, James, that
Oh,
anyone had
Lisa
mentioned?
just commented, it's scary to think we are being watched on big TVs. That is a little scary, Lisa. High def
That's
is
why
not our friend.
that's why I'm a radio face lately.
Yeah. Try
Well,
not to
we
think about that when you're creating your content.
right, that you have a face for radio. Um, well, this was such a great topic, interest driving content part two. I'd like to get into talking about repurposing content and stuff like that, but right now we're working on a show coming up about TikTok because TikTok, we're missing TikTok if we haven't been on TikTok. And both Jamie and I have not been on TikTok. And so we're going to be inviting two experts in social media in general and digital content in general, digital marketing in general. Both of them are fabulous in all those areas, but they have ventured into TikTok and we want to see, things are changing over there. So we want to get a look at what's changing, what's going on, what's new, what's exciting. And
Absolutely.
so we're going to be bringing in Lisa with Inspire to Thrive, who just started on TikTok. And she said off the bat, so far, she would say she's getting better results with her short videos than she did in, getting started on YouTube for sure. So that's interesting. And that's a case study just in the making. And then we have Miss Eileen or Eileen Smith, who many of you may know. She's really good at everything digital. But I remember when she told me she was going to go on TikTok, and I was like, what? I, like many of you, think of it as a kids thing. But one of the shifts on TikTok is that it's changing from an entertainment driven channel to a lot more as it evolves. It has new ownership and it's starting to bring in different demographics, not just Gen Z. And we're going to explore that coming up also. We have a lot in store for you guys. We appreciate you
Yes.
being here and we'll catch you on the next one. What do you think, James?
We have so much in the pipeline, so stay tuned and have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. I'm trying to put the outro on so we can sign off, but it won't go on. See what I mean about this? I'm supposed to just push the button and it's supposed to share, but it's not. Why
All
is it
right.
not?
Well,
Okay, we'll just say goodbye.
yes.
Goodbye.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much for being here. Um,